HutHut, let's party.
HutHut Podcast. My guy Dawson Knox in the house. I might upset a lot of people by saying this, but one of my biggest flaws is telling the truth too far at times. My number one little brother of my entire career, the unanimous favorite in my house by my children. You're literally family to us, man, and I don't have more pride about anybody else that I ever played with than you and your success and your family and your life and just you as a human being. So welcome, man.
Well, thank you, HutHut Podcast. I've been waiting for the invite. I've been seeing you guys been going for a while. I was wondering when you were going to get me on here, but you really have been the older brother that I never had. And I tell people all the time that I attribute a lot of my success and kind of how I've been able to handle myself on and off the field to you. So couldn't be more thankful for you and the family too. We miss you guys in Buffalo. I know you guys are happy down in Knoxville, but hoping to get y'all up here for a game or something this year.
We need to, man. I came up obviously with Sis the one time and tried, man, this drinking through a fire hydrant starting this business down here. It's a lot easier to just show up and be a football player than it is to be the boss. But hopefully, once we get through the first 12 months, we can really look back and say, all right, we did this right, we did this wrong. This is what the calendar now is going to look like for the next 12 months. And then I can really – Atlanta's easy to get to. I can go down there in 2.5 hours, see those guys, but really be intentional about coming up there with scheduled trips as long as, like, my boys are still there. You, Jaw, all the fellas.
Yeah, for sure. We need to get you back up here. And I think the 5-year plan for Triple F is coming to Nashville at some point. So maybe we can talk about that in the future.
I've seen
some videos, man. I haven't seen them in person yet, but I'm dying to get in there and see everything.
Do you think this is something you would like to do when you're done?
I was actually talking with my dad the other day. I think for a long time I've always wanted to do something that just involves being a part of something bigger than myself, kind of giving back to the community, whether it be, some type of coaching or something, but having a gym, a place like that people can come to after school and just be a pretty awesome place that kids can find some positive influences. It's pretty awesome to be a part of. And I can 100% see myself getting involved with that in the future.
Yeah.
Hopefully not anytime soon. I hope I got 4 or 5 more under my belt in the league. But after that, I can absolutely see myself doing something very similar.
I love it. It's like all of us, man. All of us are trying to get to 10. I don't care who you are. Like once you play 6, 7, 8, it's like I might as well play 10.
I know that the double digits is pretty impressive to get to. I remember my rookie year. I think you were going into. Were you going into 9?
Yep.
And as soon as I got there, you're like, Dawson, this is my last year. I'm giving you the reins after this one. And then we finished 9. And you're like, well, I got to get to 10. So I'm going to play one more. And then you got it. And then you finish 10. And you're like, you know what? I think I got a pretty good opportunity to go down to Atlanta, get another one in. And I thought you were to go for 12. But anytime you can get past or get to 10, I think that's incredible. I think, what's the average, like 3?
Yeah, tight ends are a little bit higher, but it's like 4. It's not like tight ends are 7. It's running backs are low. There's a couple others that are low. Tight ends is like 3, but yeah, 3 across the board. Tight ends are like 3.7 or something when I look at the numbers. But it's just such a small group of dudes that can do the decade deal. As long as the good Lord keeps you healthy, that's not going to be an issue for you.
Definitely praying for that. We got a great athletic training staff and some sports scientists that do a good job. So hopefully that'll add a couple of the back end of the deal for me.
Bro, if they can bring dead people back to life on the field, they can sure get you a year or two. I mean, my goodness. Nate Bresky for the world out there, who's the head man in Buffalo. His brother works over at the football office at UT, University of Tennessee.
That's right.
Yeah, not Texas.
I know him and his son were down at one of maybe the spring game recently. Weren't they down there with
Yeah.
you and Brody?
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
didn't actually make it by. That Nate was in a couple years ago. We were at the farm wrangling cows and messing around, and he was in the last week, and he was going to come by the gym and hang out, but life got busy for him and family, and he ended up having to get back to Buffalo. But you're 100% right, man. It's funny. One of the guys that did his combine pro day kind of stuff with me had a visit up in Buffalo yesterday, so I called Brandon and I just told him, I said, listen, man, they have something really special going up there. And the locker room is as special as it gets in pro football. So don't be nervous. Just go be you. Show that you're a culture fit and that you won't screw up anything they have going on. And hopefully they'll call your name later in the draft. So he was all excited about going up there. It's just such a special place. And the athletic department, Hal and Ciano, all of it, man. It's just cool. It's a good place to be.
Yeah, it's one of those things that because it's such a small town, the town of Buffalo isn't very big. There's not a ton going on. It kind of forces the team to hang out together a little bit more. And just the personalities we got in the locker room. It's like, it honestly feels very similar to college. Everyone hangs out with each other on the off days and people go to each other's houses after a big win. Everyone rents out the same restaurant at Mulberry's. And I mean, we've been doing that since I was a rookie. You would be one of the leaders of that. So I had no idea what to expect going into the league. I thought it was going to kind of be every man for themselves. Everyone, I didn't think there'd be very many people hanging out with each other outside of the facility, but it's been pretty incredible. And everyone that comes from other teams talks about how special this place is. So I definitely am very thankful to be locked in for a few more years. And honestly, I'd love to finish my career here. I've been very, very happy with where I'm at so far.
Yeah, no doubt. And here's the deal, man. It's no secret, and you got to be careful. You're still playing for the Bills. I'm down here in Tennessee, but it better be special, and it better be a special locker room because it sure isn't ideal. I mean, what'd you tell me? It was 70 degrees 3 days ago. It snowed yesterday. You're in a sweatshirt today. At least it looks like through your car windows there, at least the sun's shining for once.
Which is surprising. There's actually not a cloud in the sky right now. This time of year, I mean, I remember getting back for OTAs last year. It was April 27th, like the second week of OTAs. We got like 5 inches of snow. And especially coming, from all off season, being in Nashville where the weather was good this time of year, and then being able to travel a little bit. Coming back here, this time of year is not ideal. It's always gray. Summers are great, but then when October hits, it might be 38 degrees and raining every day of the week. And, but that's another thing too, that kind of draws guys together and kind of forces you to hang out a little bit more because there's not a whole lot you're going to find outside the camaraderie we got in the locker room.
And that's what makes it so special, man. And that was always my big thing, especially when I came into the room with you and Tommy. By the way, Tommy, first year without Tommy, are you depressed?
Man, I was sad getting to the first meeting with Rob Boris, and Tommy's seat right next to me was empty. Tommy Sweeney's been one of my best friends since I got to Buffalo. We had our whole rookie contract, all 4 years together. So this will be my first year without him. Definitely am missing him, but super excited for him being with the Giants now, being back with Dave's, very similar offense. He's back home too in Jersey. So it's a great setup for him, but obviously selfishly I'd love for him to still be with us.
Yeah, he's the best. And that's why when I got there, obviously walking in with two rookies, and they just signed Tyler, but with you guys being young bucks, that's the one thing, especially after being there in the past, I wanted to make sure that I not necessarily taught you, but Josh was young too, and it's like, guys, you have to spend time together. After games, win or lose, we booze. We go have a great meal. We drink a little bit of red wine. By the way, bro, I haven't had a drink for like 16, 17 months.
Oh my gosh. That's impressive. Big testament to you there.
I'll never drink again. God jumped on my back and choked me out and said, this isn't a negotiation. You're done, big boy. You're leading kids. And
wow,
that's been the one thing that's gotten in your way over the years of being the man I want you to be. So it was an easy decision. I play bartender all the time at my house. I tell people all the time, I'm like, shoot, if I got rid of everybody in my life that drinks, I'd be one lonely sucker. So,
Well, with that big fancy pool house and that big bar you got, I hope you can be a good bartender for everyone that comes over.
that's what's crazy, bro, is I was literally in church and I was by myself one Sunday. I don't know why. And God just grabbed me and said, "You're done." And I'm like, "Hold on, big dog. Like I just filled up I just filled up my wine cellar and built a pool house. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like, give me a few years." And it was like, nope. So anyways, I'll still throw a party or two here or there and spoil people with some of those high-dollar drinks that I intended drinking myself that now everybody else gets to drink. But
Yeah.
speak
Well, it's a pretty big testament to you to be able to hear that first and then follow through for it or follow through with it. And we both know that God blesses those that listen to him. So clearly you're doing pretty well in Knoxville. So that's pretty awesome.
I'm trying to, buddy. It's been cool. I feel like it was a life raft. It's like, here you go, you big dummy. You've done things right until that's just one thing that always kind of crept up on me, and it affected my family so much too. It was necessary. So it's been cool, and God is really the tunnel vision has gotten wider and wider ever since. So it's been awesome. But
Yeah, that's amazing.
but so for the crowd out there, Dawson Knox's dad is also my financial advisor. So and that's why Dawson's asking him about post football triple F and giving back to the community. David Knox, I texted him today. Obviously,
Oh yeah.
it's tax season, and I'm telling
Oh,
you, it's like a fart in a whirlwind. Pro football to business owner, I'm still trying to figure out how in the world to navigate and really get on a routine and establish. So your dad's been a huge help, man. It's been cool.
yeah. He's without a doubt one of the biggest blessings in my life, not only from being my dad and one of the best role models I could ever ask for, but also just having someone that you can trust with your finances is huge. Knowing that he's not going to be, making some risky investments with my money or even taking stuff from me, but he's always got everyone's best interest in mind, and he handles Tyrell Dotson's money too. One of my good buddies on the team here in Buffalo that we actually grew up not too far away from each other in Nashville, but he's awesome. He said that obviously it's got to be hard starting your business, but he's been really impressed with what you've been able to do so far. And he said that by far the first year is the hardest. So now that you kind of got that under your belt, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the man I want to be one day. I don't think he has the evil thoughts I have in my brain, to say the least.
It's crazy. I don't know how he is, but he is the ultimate role model. So I couldn't be more thankful for him. That's for sure.
That's the best. He's the man. Your mama is too. Your mama, she's got a little more swag though. Your mama is the one that's jerking knot in that butt, huh?
She's definitely more of the firecracker. My dad's the fire extinguisher.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I mean they're both incredible. So definitely, I mean probably the two greatest blessings in my life, without a doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. I love it, man. Well, let's talk about some fun stuff. You're an extremely wealthy man, first year in the Pro Bowl. So it's just cool. And I know had a podcast with Chris Lindstrom the other day. He just reset the market for offensive guards, 105 million. And the most humble, he's the best. He's a Dawson Knox. He hits the Lee Smith trifecta. Want him as a teammate, take him into a bar fight, and let him marry my daughter. So
that's a pretty impressive trifecta to hit. That's awesome.
Chris Lindstrom. I mean, there's not many, bro. You're definitely one. You're a no-brainer. Chris Lindstrom, no-brainer. And if I sat here and thought long enough, I could probably think of two or three more. But plenty of people hit 2 out of 3. Most of the guys I would let marry my daughter, I don't want in a bar fight. Most of the guys that I want in a bar fight, he married my daughter. But anyway, so just talking to him, with as humble as he is, he's almost uncomfortable talking about money, as I know you are too. So we're not going to talk about the 13 million a year or anything like that. We'll just talk about how awesome is it, man, that I know you told me I stole your innocence as a rookie by telling you all the real things of the NFL and all those things, but just doing everything right and trusting your veterans, which obviously I was one of them, and just keeping your head down and not worrying as much and just being a true pro when you get rewarded financially. How awesome is it, man? Just to know that you're set, your future kids are set, and you can just let Papa Bear David Knox set you up to truly be comfortable financially the rest of your life, man. How's it been?
Yeah, I mean it really is a surreal feeling because I feel like everyone in the NFL kind of works for that second contract, because obviously you make incredible money through your first, 4 years or your first contract, whatever that looks like. But everyone's kind of working for that second contract, which is where the life changing money really comes into play. Just knowing that, your kids will be set and hopefully their kids. I really just honestly still haven't been able to wrap my mind around it. It's really just a God thing that, first of all, I was able to make it to this point, but also, that some of those things were able to come together to where I was able to sign that life changing contract, and just having that sense of security too is huge. And now I feel like I can be a better leader in the locker room. I might have a better voice that people can listen to going into year 5 now, considered a veteran. It feels like just yesterday I was in there with you as a rookie, not knowing what to do or not knowing how to handle myself. But I know I messed with you about how you stole my innocence as a rookie, but that was invaluable to me because just kind of hearing how the NFL really works and ways you handle yourself with the, general manager and with the trainers and what to do off the field and things to avoid and how to be a leader. Couldn't have asked for a better role model than you. So I do attribute a lot of that to you as well, but couldn't be more thankful for the position I'm in. And that's, all God. I think I forgot who said it, but it's an awesome quote that stuck with me to pray like it's up to God, but you got to work like it's up to you. And that's kind of just been a mindset I've had since I was a walk on at Ole Miss, just trying to outwork everyone just for a chance. So trying not to forget that mentality when I had, when I was a walk on back in college.
That's awesome. I tell people all the time. I mean, did you score a touchdown in high school or college?
I don't know if you count JV,
We're not counting
but
JV.
uh, I did not. Definitely didn't score in college. Had a JV touchdown in high school, but I think I was 5'10", 160 going into my junior year of high school. I was a backup quarterback. Finally, my senior year, I won the starting quarterback position. Um, and very first game, dislocated my ankle. So I had very little to no experience. I had no offers. I had some really small, like Division 3, Division 2 offers. And honestly, after that ankle injury, I kind of questioned whether or not I should keep playing because it just wasn't fun for me at that point. All my friends, had a great high school football experience, and I really didn't even know what I was capable of as an athlete. But after praying about it and just being in the Word as much as I could, I kind of felt like God wasn't done with my athletic career. So I was like, if I'm gonna go try to play in college somewhere, might as well try the biggest stage by going to the SEC. And I visited Ole Miss and loved it. Hugh Freeze was awesome to me. Guaranteed me that walk-on spot. And, when I got there, I had to put on a lot of weight, learn the tight end position. Evan Ingram was an awesome mentor to me as well. But, I mean, my head was spinning. I was just trying to get on the field for some special teams reps. And then as time went on, battled through a few other injuries and just kind of kept trusting that I was in the right spot, that God had me right where he wanted me to be. And kind of just had to have the mentality of outworking everyone just to be in the same spot. So finally got my shot at tight end, and it's just been surreal since then because I didn't have the goal of playing in the NFL. I just had the goal of trying to get on the field in college. So after I finally started playing as a starting tight end, I think it was my third year of college, and then was a starter my fourth year as well. Had enough good talks with agents and NFL GMs. I knew I had a chance to go ahead and declare early and hopefully end up in a good spot. And I didn't know anything about Buffalo at the time, but when they drafted me, I was just super excited to finally realize that childhood dream of playing in the NFL, and the rest is history. So I'm extremely, extremely thankful. And I think it's still pretty surreal to be here. So I'm very thankful.
And that's what's awesome, man. And that's whether it's my two sons in my house or all these boys down here, I'm like, guys, all these Twitter offers. Thank you, hashtag, 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 hashtag the 50 people. I get my 14 offers as a sophomore when I can't even commit. It's like these pseudo fake offerings, whatever college football has become. It's laughable. And I'm like, I wonder if Dawson Knox would rather have hashtag Twitter posts at 15 or 13 million a year. I'm assuming 13 million. So it's like
Probably.
keep your stinking head down, avoid
Mhm.
all the noise, all the goofiness of what college recruiting has become, the transfer portal, the NIL, which is all great. They were selling number 16 jerseys in the Marshall store in Huntington, West Virginia, while I was donating plasma and didn't pay me a penny. So and it ain't like they sold a bunch of them. It's Huntington, West Virginia, but there were a lot of college athletes that were selling jerseys off the shelves and were getting nothing. So there had to be a fix, and I'm pro player all the time. But what this recruiting stuff has turned into, and like all these parents reach out to me, and how do I get offers? And it's just it's bananas. So
It's crazy, man. I can't imagine being a high school player now, and it's so hard to see past the glitz and glamour of getting all the offers and being able to tweet my top 25 teams, and because everyone does that, and everyone wants to be the 5-star recruit that goes on all these official visits. I didn't even get to go on a single official visit my whole high school career. So obviously everyone wants that, but I mean, that's so fleeting. And then after everyone has that national signing day where you pick a hat to put on, you get to college and everyone's the same. I saw 5-star athletes sputter out and never made anything for themselves. And then I saw some no-name guys and some 2-star, 3-star guys become some of the best players I've ever seen in the NFL. So it's all about what you do with your opportunity. And especially now with NIL stuff, I can't imagine how hard that's got to be for, some of these athletes to work through, especially as teenagers. That's it's a whole different level that I don't even know much about. But there's some guys now making more money than rookie contracts. It blows my mind.
yeah, I'm pretty sure the kid at Tennessee, who I hear is a great young man, is making $2 million a year.
The quarterback?
Yeah.
$2 million a year?
No, I'm not. Listen, I don't know him personally. He lives right down the street now, conveniently, but and maybe he'll come through Triple F at some point. We got a lot of Tennessee guys that are coming through here, and I'm just here to support them in any way I can, along with their coaching staff and everybody else. Too many times, man, the guys in the private sector, whether it's college kids or even the high school kids around here, there's no communication. Nobody's on the same page. Like, I wanted to do it different. Like, hey, Josh Heupel, whether it's Josh Heupel or it's the local head high school football coach or a head high school softball coach, if it's one of my girl members, it's like, I'm just here to serve you. Like, I know what it takes to get paid to play sports, along with a lot of my other employees down here that have played in WNBA to CFL to NFL to pro baseball. And like, I'm just here to serve you. So maybe the kid comes through here eventually. I don't know. But as of right now, I don't know him at all. So I don't want to say it's 100% fact because I just don't know. But I'm 99% sure that he's getting $2 million a year, bro. He ain't stepped on a college football field.
Oh my God. My rookie contract was 4 years for 3.5. So I was making less than one a year. So the fact that the dude hasn't played a year in college, says a lot to the type of athlete he is. Obviously a special talent. And you said that, everyone says he's a great guy, which is awesome. But those guys, hopefully they know what's good for them and they'll find a good mentor and someone that can really steer them the right direction. Because I've seen it firsthand in the league, how hard that is to find someone that, that you can really trust with your money, that will steer you in the right direction in the locker room too. But hopefully some of those guys can stumble on in Triple F and find themselves some good leadership in their life, because that's crazy. I can't imagine the types of responsibilities that type of money comes with, especially that age.
Yeah, and here's the deal, man. Like he's a quarterback. Jalen Hurts just got 55 million or 51 million or whatever. Like that position's its whole other animal. I'd be, the other positions they're getting 40, 50,000, and the best D lineman in the country, is getting 100 to 150 or whatever. I think from what people are telling me. Once again, I don't know for sure. I'm not these kids' parents or I'm not these colleges, but the Arch Manning and Nico here at Tennessee and some of those guys, they're kind of on their own little planet. But still, it's bananas
Yeah.
when you think about it. Like, but once again, I've heard he's a great young man with a great support system, which I'm sure is why Josh Heupel and the crew over at Tennessee were willing to, I don't know if I don't even know Dawson. Does Josh Heupel set up that? Does somebody else set it up? I don't know how it works.
Oh,
But
I have no idea. I
but
mean, I'm like you. I'm always pro player too. Like if you're bringing in a lot of revenue for a school, you deserve to be compensated for it. And it's kind of messed up now when you look at all the Reggie Bush stuff. They took his Heisman away. And I mean, I can't even imagine the type of jersey sales he had and what his autograph would have gone for. So I'm glad, kids are making money now because they deserve it because of the type of revenue they bring in. But at the same time, it's probably so hard to navigate how all that works. It blows my mind.
yeah, it's a different world. It's one thing Arthur Smith used to always say that I respected, and not everybody knows this, but Arthur's family has had pretty good success in life, to say the least. His father's the CEO and owner of
Not too bad.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think he was raised in a pretty good environment by highly successful people. Big Fred is unbelievable, but like he would always say, "Listen, guys, the world's changing, the NFL's changing, everything's changing. Make your life the best it possibly can be inside these changes." Oh, I remember in the good old day, like okay, great, awesome. Those days are gone. So,
Right.
and sometimes things are frustrating, and whether it's American politics or NFL football or whatever, but if you truly can just give your heart peace and rely on God and pray and say, yeah, I don't really like these changes, but guess what? They're here, so I might as well embrace it and make the best out of it. But I'm like you, man. I'm pro player, and it's like just figure out. But it ain't like it's any different in the NFL, Dawson. They're just doing it 4 years earlier. The guys go broke
Yeah.
at rampant paces. They have the wrong people around them. They squander their money away. So sure, at 18 years old, it seems so much different, but it's just starting the cycle earlier. So the epidemic of needing to truly help these guys is strong. So who knows? Maybe there's
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. I don't think there's very few things more valuable than finding someone that you can trust that's been through similar things as you that can be a good mentor. Because, I mean, you see it all the time in the NFL. Guys are 21, 22 years old, and all of a sudden they have more money than they know what to do with it. And there's tons of risky investments and guys buying 5 or 6 cars. And, it's really sad to see people that aren't great stewards of their money. But once you can find someone that you trust, like a financial advisor or someone that's been a veteran in the NFL, someone that can lead you in the right direction. I mean, there's very few things more valuable than that. So hopefully these kids will, have some pretty great mentors around them.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. There's nothing. Well, me and you have a big passion for pediatric cancer and the punt stuff we've worked with in the past. You just said you left Punt's new swanky office. It's amazing what happens when Dawson Knox takes over for Lee Smith. Business grows at mock speed. More handsome, better player. Dawson does everything better than me. So
Well,
shout
I promise you, I don't do everything better. I still want them to bring you back to block some six techniques, um, but yeah, I mean, it's been really fun to see how Punt's grown too, just through the coverage they get, just at least here in Western New York. Their office is awesome now. And the work they do is amazing. And that kind of gives me an extra why for what I do, because football is incredible. It's one of my biggest passions in life, but it's also a platform that's given to you straight from God to be able to do good things with. So I think when you're handed stuff like a seat at the table for the NFL, and when you're handed life-changing money, it's really up to you what you do with it. And I think God entrusts people with that for them to, give back. I think we're all called, if we're blessed, we're called to bless others. So I think just finding something you're passionate about outside of football, whether it's pediatric cancer or kids with disabilities, homelessness, whatever type of cause you can find that you're passionate about to give back to. I mean, that has been incredible for me, just to kind of give me another extra purpose to why I do what I do.
I love it, man. That's one thing I say all the time is everyone has a different passion. Some people's is the military, some people's is Haiti, some people's is world hunger, which obviously Haiti falls in that board, that boat. Some's pediatric cancer. For me, it was a no-brainer. I had kids. The fact that we're a 22-year-old young man in your rookie year, and me and you go over to the hospital one time, and we leave, and you're like, I'm all in, bro. You don't even have any children, and obviously you will one day, and you got little brothers, and siblings. But just the way your heart exploded for that, and obviously now that we've launched Punt Knoxville and Punt Nashville here in Tennessee, there's no telling what the good Lord has planned to serve these families, because I can't imagine. So it's funny, I can't imagine a bigger nightmare on planet Earth, bro, than watching my baby suffer. And that's what I was going to say a minute ago is there's no bigger stress on a male than financial pressure and financial instability. There's nothing that can erode a man faster than that. So that's like we're talking about all these young guys in college now getting NFL money. It's like get the right people around you, get rid of some of it. And listen, family becomes the worst. Sorry. I hate to – everybody doesn't have a David Knox in their life. So it's like get rid of the people that I tell guys all the time, don't give anybody a penny except your mama for the first 2 years. And all the dudes that are still around really love you. Give everybody in your circle money all the time. No wonder they stick around. So
it's really funny to see once you're given some money how big your circle becomes.
No question.
All of a sudden, there's people coming out of the woodworks that you haven't talked to since middle school, wanting tickets to a game, or I've had some crazy requests like, "Hey, man, my mom's house just burned down. Can you help me out?" Some people just that you haven't heard from in years that you would have never thought about that all of a sudden try to start getting close to you for whatever reason. It can be really hard to decipher, but a lot of pressure is added to your life when you're given, some good money. So it's I can't even imagine doing that 4 years earlier. Some of these 15, 16-year-olds that are getting some offers with crazy dollar figures on them. So it's definitely, there's definitely a lot of pressure with that. So, you can only pray that they find a good mentor and someone that they can trust with their money.
No question. And that's the thing. And there's going to be people listening out there. Oh, must be real hard. What you do with your millions must be real stressful. Poor you. And it's like, listen, man, I've been at funerals with parents as they bury their child. All right. I'm not acting like getting NFL money or this NIL money, and I know you're not either, is this ultra tragic worst case scenario, but it's real and something that should set you up and your future family up for the rest of your life that doesn't, because of all these things that you look back on and then you have an understanding for it. How do we get the understanding out on the front end for some of these young guys, like I said, that don't have a David Knox or a really strong veteran in the room or coach that kind of pours into them? So I'm with you, man. I'm with you 100%. But anyways, so let me see here. What else we got? Ooh, the heavy hitter.
Oh, geez.
And I won't post this unless you give me permission. So I got a little bit of word from my wife, and then I talked to Josh yesterday, and I hear there's a new lady friend in the Knoxville.
Oh yeah.
What's going on, man?
No doubt. Her name's Alex, and she's awesome. She's actually from Buffalo. And I know I told you, I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm never going to be able to date someone from here. Oh my gosh, they're all crazy. They're all huge Bills fans. So, of course, the first thing I had to do was make sure that she wasn't some super fan and just liked me for what I did for a living. Because it can be really hard to, decipher people's intentions. And I know you would always mess with me saying, you're never going to find true love now that you got all this, status and money or whatever. And I really did believe that it was going to be near impossible. But she's the real deal. I mean, she's got an incredible family. I think she's been to 2 games her whole life. Didn't follow anybody else on the team on social media. And she had been dating a guy for a while. So, it wasn't like she was trying to get with one of my teammates for a long time or anything like that. So she's awesome. We've been dating since last year. But yeah, I mean, everything's been going great, and it's going to be fun to have her here for a season too. She wasn't able to make it to a game last year. She does a lot of work in London, but it's going to be fun she's already met my parents, my whole family, uncles, aunts, cousins, everybody. I was actually able to meet her family a couple nights ago. Everything's been going good. She's awesome.
So this is official.
Oh yeah, it's official. Yeah, no, Alicia probably said she saw some post on Instagram or something. You'll definitely be meeting her whenever you come up here. But she's great. She's got a job. She works for a fitness app. She helps them program workouts, and she does a lot of Taekwondo stuff too, like self-defense courses. It's really impressive what she does. So she's got her own thing going on, very successful, which is one of the most attractive things to me, that she's not just dependent on whoever she's talking to. She's got her own stuff going on. Very, very Christian girl, very strong in her faith, which is at the top of my list for what I was looking for. And her brother has autism, so it kind of caused her to grow up really quickly. She's extremely mature. She's awesome. So I'm really glad I actually found somebody, because you started getting in my head a little too much. I'm like, he's right. I'm going to have to settle for something that I don't want. But it's hard, man. Once you get to the NFL, no matter how much money you got, it's hard to know people's intentions on why they want to date you. Some people just want that status, but she's the opposite of that. So it's been great so far.
That's awesome, man. And that's what I tell people all the time is when I started dating, or when I started dating Alicia, we were in high school. But when the first 4 years of mine and Alicia's marriage, I was donating plasma, mowing yards, living in a 900 square foot house. So the things she put up with, and the things that quite honestly I just straight up let her down on as a young teenage and early 20s young man, I had no doubt in my brain at all that woman was in love with me and had my back. And I used to always think, man, I can't imagine trying to find a woman once I was already in the NFL. And of course, I probably gave you too much crap. Sorry if I get you going down mental rabbit holes.
Rightfully so. I mean, I knew all the things you were telling me.
But at the end of the day, God is cool. And the fact that he put her in your life is awesome. And I'm happy for you, man. I can't wait to meet her. Can't wait to come up there and meet her.
Oh man, me and her talk about it all the time. It's crazy God's timing. I mean, there was just one thing after the other that it really was his perfect timing that we were even able to meet. She was actually about to move out of Buffalo. She was about to go live overseas for a little bit. She was about to keep doing her job elsewhere, and she was about to move out of her family's house. And so it was a very, very godly time thing that it just worked out for some reason. So it's pretty cool seeing that too. And I'm very thankful for how it's been going so far.
That's awesome, man. And what's cool is, especially with Luke's situation, and we won't talk about that too much here, and how painful that was. And, I laid in bed so many nights talking to Alicia, like, Dawson is alone up there. I can't stand it. I hate it. And out of all the friends I have, you are number one world's worst at returning text messages. So I'm like, I wonder if he's all right. You know what I mean? And for God to put her in your life, and obviously, you got your new contract. Not that was some sort of fulfillment or cure for pain, but just everything God's done for you and obviously the strong family you have. It's just really cool, man. I'm glad that he put someone solid in life. I cannot wait to meet her. Me and Alicia are fired. Alicia even said, she's like, it's not like official on his social media yet.
What does she
I'm
mean?
sure,
I haven't changed my relationship status on Facebook or something?
but buddy, I don't do the social media stuff. I don't
Oh,
know.
I know.
But she's like, but this girl, she's like, I get a good vibe. She doesn't give me the chasing NFL player vibes. She just seems awesome.
Oh yeah.
Exactly what I would have expected Dawson to be with. And so that's awesome, man. Good for
Oh,
you.
believe me, I was as skeptical as anybody at first. I had my guard up in every way you can have a guard up. But she's been great, and it really is a God thing too. Um, but I truly do believe that God has everything happen for a reason. That's another one of those things. So definitely excited for y'all to meet her. I'm sorry for being so bad with my phone.
Don't be sorry because
Especially during the season. I'm terrible with it.
you're never gonna change. It's okay. Like if that's the biggest flaw Dawson Knox has, who is one of the very few trifecta guys in my life, I can wait 48 hours for a return text. It doesn't hurt my feelings one bit, not one bit.
As long as I get back to you within a day or so. But I'm obviously never going to ignore you. But that is definitely a flaw that most of my friends take very personally sometimes. But they've kind of just learned that's how I am for whatever reason. But I'm working on it. We're getting better.
I will now that you're in a relationship, you better get better. At least keep her at the top. Alicia's little
Oh
circle.
yeah, you got to pin her up at the top of the
Yeah.
text messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I changed her picture to where it's a different color. So next to the text messages, it's highlighted. I had to explain that to her first. I was like, look, if I'm bad at texting you back immediately, it's nothing you've done. I'm working on my own personal communication skills, but I've gotten better. She's helped me out through it. We've been a lot better.
I love it. So going back to football a little bit, we've hit everything. Our love for pediatric cancer and our relationship, man, and how much I love you. But let's talk about some fun stuff just with your success this year. Obviously, the big contract is. Listen, for all the folks out there, there's no better moment for a player. I hate to say this, but than getting the financial stability. That's what we're all after. We're all chasing it. We love our teammates. We love winning games, but it's a business at that level. It's not Harry High School anymore. It's I want to take care of my family, especially now that
Right.
you might be looking at the mother of your future children. It's even more so wanting to have financial stability. So on top of that, on top of getting paid, Pro Bowl, man. How was that? Did you enjoy it? Is your first one well deserved?
Man.
Talk about it a little
Well,
bit.
thank you. So I was the first alternate, so I wasn't first ballot or whatever you call it. So I still wasn't 100% sure if I was going to go. I was actually in Las Vegas with the Holo line. They always take their trip there. They invited me on it this year because I help them out every now and then. So it was kind of like an honorary alignment that weekend, which was super fun. Always kind of good to decompress after the season. But that Kansas City was playing. I don't know. I forget already. But if they won, Travis Kelce would have gone to the Super Bowl or goes to the Super Bowl, which puts me in the Pro Bowl. So I'm sitting there in Vegas on Sunday night watching their game, thinking, if the Chiefs win, I got to stay here for another week. And at that point, I was already burnt out from Vegas. I mean, 2 or 3 days there, and you're ready to go home. But when they won, I mean, I was super excited. Obviously, everyone who plays in the NFL wants to go to a Pro Bowl one day. Obviously, you'd rather be in a Super Bowl. But that was just another surreal thing, being there with the best guy from every position, guys that you might have never been able to meet before. There's some really cool guys. I mean, there's no one really rubbed me the wrong way. Nobody was, acted too good for everyone else. It was a really cool week just hanging out with people that you might have not seen or met before. I know people got mixed feelings about the flag football versus real football, but I promise you there's not a single person in that locker room that wanted to put a helmet on again.
No question.
So it was awesome. It was awesome for us playing dodgeball, playing some flag football. The stands were packed. Seems like the fans loved it. And I'd be okay if I never went to one again because we'd be in Super Bowls. But It was definitely a very surreal feeling again, just something that you always have watched as a kid. You're like, wow, these are, the best players on earth. So it really was an honor to be able to represent the Bills there and hang out with some of the guys. And I think we had like 7 or 8 Bills players there. So there were tons of us. I roomed with Mitch a couple nights because he had to stay from the O-line trip.
That is awesome.
Um, he's one of my favorite teammates, and I know you love him too. We like shared this suite one night. It was awesome. But I had a ton of fun, and my whole family got to come out. One of my little brothers got a selfie with Sway Lee. So they were living their best life. Snoop Dogg was my team captain. Peyton Manning was our coach, and him and Eli took it very, very seriously. I mean, they were yelling at the refs, yelling at each other. We had full-on meetings, installing plays. So it definitely still was football, but also was a really fun week to be able to hang out with my family and have them kind of experience it with me. It was really fun. Very thankful.
That is awesome. Yeah, for everyone out there anyone that's complaining about the Pro Bowl not being full padded, I might go back to my cussing days here and let you know how I feel about that. Like, these dudes are getting their heads patched in for months, and we still figure out a really awesome way to entertain you with the greatest players on the planet. I was by no means ever in that category at all, but getting our best players on the planet all. It should have been this way 20 years ago. I mean, it was awesome.
No doubt.
I actually watched it, bro. It was fun to watch. And
it was competitive. I mean, It was good football. I think it's the equivalent of if you win Employee of the Year and you're rewarded with having to go work a night shift. You don't want to work you don't want to have an extra shift added on. You don't want to have to do more things that make you tired and banged up. And the worst thing that could happen to someone is getting hurt at a Pro Bowl. Yep. So everybody, there wasn't a single person that would rather put pads on for that game. So, I even thought the fans loved it. So I know there's, the football purists out there. They're like, oh, we should do another full tackle game. That'll never happen again. So might as well be happy for us if we're doing what we want to do.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I can't remember who I was talking about the other day, talking about good memories from the past. Who was I talking? Maybe Bees. Oh, when Bees came back. I said, I don't know now that Dawson has all this new money if he's still into babysitting, but I guarantee you if you give him a call, and my kids, for everybody out there, Dawson Knox and Tommy Sweeney were my babysitters when I was in Buffalo one year, and I'd come home. I'll never forget it. I came home, and of course, you were in pure Dawson form, ultra behaved, just taking care of the kids. And I look at Tommy, and Tommy's got a beer in his hand, and he's partying. And I'm like, after you guys leave, I'm like, Brock, how was it, man? My younger boy, Brock, he's like, Daddy, I was getting Tommy beers all night.
so Brock, I guess for everyone that doesn't know, obviously has red hair. And for whatever reason, Tommy was calling him Red, and Brock was like, I don't like red. And so we started calling him Blue. Tommy would finish his butt heavy and then be like, Blue, I need another beer. It's like, okay, I got you, Tommy. He'd run over to the fridge and bring him another beer. But it was really fun. We were hanging out all night, playing ping pong, watched a movie. That's something I'll always remember. It didn't feel like work or anything. Obviously, you didn't pay us, so we didn't, it wasn't like we were actually babysitting, but we were just hanging out with the kids. It was really fun. Sometimes I forget about that, but that's one of those memories that'll always stick with you. It was fun.
That's awesome, man. That's, these rookie dinners and I came into the league. Brock was born in my rookie training camp, my third kid, as you know. And it's like, you're not taking me on a rookie dinner and getting $5,000 out of me. No, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So I never did that to rookies ever. I wanted to empower you and help you. I wanted to show you how to take my job.
There's going to be more thankful for that, by the way. Yeah. There's some horror stories with rookie dinners, so thank you.
We're not doing that, but I might need a babysitting service every once in a while. I'm going to have a cool piece of farm equipment that's very manageable that I need you to spend $200 or $300 on. I use my kerosene heater all the time. Thank you for that, by the way.
Oh yeah, you gotcha.
but I always wanted to take care of my guys, and I appreciate you taking care of me back with the kids because they cherish those memories, man. Like I tell people all the time, I don't miss playing football anymore. I played until I didn't want to play anymore. Um, but I miss my buddies. I miss my kids getting to be with Dawson Knox and getting to be around elite individuals and elite performers and guys that there's no way they would be in the situation they're in if they didn't outwork everybody else. And just that environment, there's just nothing like it. It's the best job in the world. And I told Brandon yesterday I needed 1 year, 10 million. He said no. I couldn't believe it. But
maybe
but,
when playoffs roll around, we'll see what happens.
but so I don't want to play football anymore, man. But I sure miss the guys and the fellas and those cool stories. Tyler Croft living down the street and walking down to Tyler's house and you being over and babysitting the kids and mulberry dinners and all that, brother. It's enjoy every second of it, Dawson. Seriously. All right, buddy. Well, I love you so much. I miss you. Give everybody my love. I'll talk to your dad plenty.
Love you like a brother, dude.
Love you, man. Have a good day, bro. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me on. HutHut.
HutHut, my guy, Dawson Knox in the house.